People do not come into our lives by chance. Who are you? Never mind all your fears and insecurities, or all the things you have or would like to have. Forget that you want to be a better person. I don't want to know your gender, nationality, age, family situation, ethnic background, and certainly not what you do for a living. My question is this: what is your true nature? Do you know? Do you ever ask yourself? Do you use your yoga and meditation practice to explore this question? I'm not asking who you believe yourself to be, but rather what you experience in those moments when you are not caught up in your wants and fears. What do you rely on to give meaning to your life? These are hard yet essential questions for those who wish to consciously experience life's fullness. Even if you never consciously grapple with these questions about your true nature, certain circumstances will require you to pay attention. Life delivers you a series of challenges in the form of small and large good fortune, as well as petty and great misfortune. In the struggle to learn how to respond to the resulting joy, pain, and confusion, you are repeatedly challenged to seek and to act from your essence. Sometimes it's easier to grasp the importance of knowing your true nature through hearing the story of someone else, particularly if that person's story is larger than life. One clear example of this can be seen in a New York Times article about how Germany has renamed a military base to honor a World War II Army sergeant. This particular sergeant, Anton Schmid, an Austrian serving in the German army, saved more than 250 Jews from extermination. He disobeyed his superior officers and helped these men, women, and children escape by hiding them and supplying them with false identification papers. Sergeant Schmid was executed by the Nazis for his acts. Sergeant Schmid's actions reveal the wonderment and pain of what it means to realize one's true nature. While in prison, waiting to be executed, Schmid wrote to his wife of the horror of seeing children beaten as they were herded into ghettos to be shot. You know how it is with my soft heart. I could not think and had to help them. These words capture the sudden blossoming of spiritual maturity brought on by a challenge we would all rather never have to face. In one of life's many paradoxes, witnessing the Nazis' acts of inhumanity was the gift that opened Schmid to a deep, spontaneous realization of his true nature and led to his self-sacrificing actions. I don't mean something extraordinary by this, but rather the ordinary humanness of his act. What he did was simply help people who were being brutally mistreated. This impulse to spontaneously help seems to arise out of the essence of human nature. It happens millions of times each day among family members, friends, and even between complete strangers. But Schmid's story stands out because so few others came to the aid of Germany's Jews in those terrible years, and because it meant not only his death, but also that he died a traitor in the eyes of his government. I merely behaved as a human being, Schmid wrote in his last letter to his wife. Each of us can only pray that we too can behave as a human being when we encounter the challenges that lie in our life's path. It was Schmid's ability to meet an extraordinary situation with an ordinary human response that reveals a critical point about finding your true nature. So often, there is a feeling that spiritual growth means achieving some extraordinary, otherworldly, blessed-out state, where you are somehow transported out of daily life. This view leads you to constantly search for the next spiritual high, or you feel that with all your commitments and responsibilities, you have little opportunity for developing your inner nature. Both of these views reflect an error in perception. It is your daily life that is the raw material for your spiritual development. The fight over who washes the dishes, the desire to make more money, the jealousy over what another has, the pain of losing loved ones, or the discomfort of one's own aging or ill health are not impediments to inner development. Rather, they are the grist for the mill that will slowly grind up your ignorance and all else that hinders you from knowing your true nature. But like Schmid, you must be willing to submit to the process. Whatever activity, mundane or spiritual, we do in life, self-confidence is a crucial internal factor to accomplish it. We must have confidence and believe in ourselves, thinking that we can successfully finish that work. Developing self-confidence and appreciation of our potential are the chief purposes of contemplating our precious human life. As we do this meditation, our faith will grow that we can definitely change our minds and reach spiritual insights. Recognizing the potential of our precious human life is essential. Without it, we may spend a lot of time complaining about upsetting events around us, from personal problems to environmental destruction and war. Consistently focusing on misfortune prevents us from seeing the good in the world, and this narrow and unrealistic vision hinders our well-being as well as our enthusiasm for Dharma practice. Not every human life is a precious human life. A variety of conditions must be present in order to have a precious human life that can be used in a meaningful way. When the Buddha was alive, people had access to an awakened teacher, but not everyone was interested in hearing his teachings. And among those who were, some had previous commitments or health conditions that impeded them from doing so. Sadly, these people had human lives, but not precious human lives. Are you ever aware that certain people enter our lives at critical? At times, it seems like they were sent on to get a word across or assist us, get something done. Have you ever felt like they were seeing things again? When meeting someone as if you already knew them or met them in an undefined past. In this video, we will explore the idea that people don't come into our lives by chance, but for a specific reason. So make yourself comfortable and stay till the end, because what you will hear will deeply impact you. One day, while the wise elder monk, Hotaka, engaged in deep meditation beneath the blooming cherry tree, a young man named Hiroshi approached him respectfully. With genuine curiosity, Hiroshi asked, "Master, I sometimes meet individuals and experience an uplifting sensation that they must be familiar to me, almost like we share a deeper bond. Yet on other occasions I feel a sense of unease around certain people, as if they may cause me harm, leaving me restless. Do people come into our lives by mere chance?" Fixing his intense gaze upon Hiroshi, Hotaka replied, "People never enter our lives by accident. This reality transcends our understanding." He explained that in our journey through life, we encounter various souls, each serving a distinct purpose and contributing uniquely to the unfolding narrative of our lives. Some individuals come briefly and depart, while others stay with us through various life phases. Rising slowly, Hotaka pointed towards the vast blue sky. "See how the birds fly. They do not move aimlessly. They are carried by the air currents, much like we are influenced by unseen forces in the fabric of existence." Hiroshi gazed up at the birds soaring gracefully, pondering the depth of his master's wisdom. The monk continued, "Imagine your life as a garden. Every person who enters your existence is akin to a seed planted by fate. Some seeds blossom into vibrant flowers that only last a season, while others grow into sturdy trees, standing the test of time, yet all of them bring with them the potential for new growth." Reflecting on the beautiful blooms he had witnessed throughout his life, Hiroshi nodded in appreciation. Hotaka continued, "The individuals who cause us pain often serve as our greatest teachers. They are like sharp stones along our path, and though they may hurt us, they also compel us to discover our hidden strength. The young monk closed his eyes, reminiscing about the trials that had contributed to shaping his character over time. And then, there are those souls who show up precisely when we need them, he remarked, directing Hiroshi's attention to a towering tree nearby. Just as the roots of this tree provide support during turbulent storms, so too do certain people uplift us during tough times. Hiroshi thought of someone who had been a steadfast support in moments of vulnerability, a reliable anchor amid the chaos of life, though he lamented how this person had eventually left his life, wishing they could have remained by his side. In closing, Hotaka wisely stated, "Some souls remain with us permanently. They are like fixed stars in our universe, bright, constant friends, family, or soulmates. With them, we share not just our burdens, but the bliss of our victories." A smile crept onto Hiroshi's face as he felt a wave of gratitude for the special people he had encountered thus far. Hotaka advised, "Cherish every person who crosses your path, dear Hiroshi. They are vital participants in your journey, just as you are in theirs. Our lives are intricately woven together, and every interaction enriches the tapestry of our existence." Understanding that people serve three main roles in our lives, Hotaka elaborated. Some encourage us along the road of personal growth, pushing us to transcend limitations and reach new heights. Others breathe fresh life into our inner worlds, while some may only walk alongside us briefly, yet their contributions remain significant in reminding us of our true essence and strengthening our resolve to move forward. Hiroshi solemnly absorbed his master's revelations, grasping that each individual's role in his life is intentional and crucial. As years rolled by, he continued to tread the path illuminated by Hotaka's wisdom. Each interaction, whether it involved a fleeting acquaintance or a deep-seated relationship, became a treasured fragment of his life's mosaic. Throughout challenges and joys, Hiroshi learned to recognize the hidden gifts in every encounter, lessons that fueled his growth and spiritual enlightenment. Eventually, he grew into an insightful elder monk, his wise eyes reflecting a grateful heart. His new role as a spiritual guide allowed him to impart the teacher's profound truths to aspiring young monks. He emphasized how life is an ongoing journey, characterized by meaningful encounters that each contribute to our unique existence. In summation of the moral message embedded in his teachings, it became clear: each connection in life, regardless of its duration or intensity, enriches our existence. Life is indeed a splendid journey of discovery, where every person we encounter carries a unique gift. While some may depart without explanation or engage in harmful behavior, leading us to cut ties, it is vital to remind ourselves that their purpose is fulfilled once they meet one of our needs or desires. In a world where lives intertwine like branches on a tree, profound wisdom lies in remaining open-hearted during every encounter, while learning from the lessons hidden within the intricate folds of destiny. As we navigate toward our life goals, we inevitably face challenging trials. Though feeling despondent may be natural, recognize that it is within these challenging moments that the universe sends forth individuals who embolden us to confront those trials and overcome our obstacles. Their encouragement cultivates the strength needed to forge ahead amidst life's rhythmic dance. Hotaka gently reminded Hiroshi, "Every encounter resonates like a musical note. Pay attention to the melody unveiled through the souls crossing your path. Seek beauty in the symphony of human connections." Reflecting on the nature of relationships, have you ever felt the urge to assist someone, even when they didn't explicitly ask for your support, or questioned whether your altruistic impulses could trigger unintended consequences. The ensuing Zen narrative will illustrate the importance of not intervening unless requested, underscoring how such discernment is beneficial for both the individual needing help and oneself. We embark upon a tale painted against a serene backdrop of a tranquil Buddhist monastery flanked by lush gardens and timeless trees. Here resides the venerable monk Noro, who summons his students to illuminate a topic of great relevance: how their uninvited acts of kindness may have inadvertently undermined others while bringing disappointment to themselves. In life's river, each person is akin to a small boat navigating turbulent waters, Noro explained in a soothing cadence. When we intervene and steer others' vessels without invitation, we often lead them astray. To elucidate this, Noro recounted an age-old parable of a zealous young monk eager to assist a struggling companion without prior request. Though intended to be helpful, his well-meaning interference sparked unforeseen complications, weaving a complex labyrinth of challenges for both individuals. Noro eloquently conveyed that while hardship is an inevitable catalyst for spiritual maturation, invading someone's journey before they beckon for help may deprive them of crucial learning experiences and personal growth. He continued with a tale of two companions, Shun and Masu, who shared laughter and tears throughout their school years. Upon hearing of Masu's financial misfortunes, Shun decided to altruistically pay off his debts without Masu's consent. Although Shun's intentions were noble, the lack of agency deprived Masu of the unfolding of his own journey, resulting in emotional distance between them. Each soul is entangled in the web of their karma, Noro declared. Every action returns like an echo. Thus, when we extend unsolicited assistance, we disrupt the delicate balance of another's karmic journey, inadvertently jeopardizing our own. Noro narrated instances wherein individuals, driven by empathy, thrust themselves into situations that were not theirs, thus setting off chaotic sequences of events. Reflecting upon the teachings of Buddha, he emphasized how vital it is to allow individuals to navigate their paths and learn through their experiences. When addressed with such empathy, engagement stemming from compassion can impede the evolution of both the helper and the one in need. Using a metaphor, he described every action as akin to casting a stone into a tranquil pond, where the resulting ripples reach us eventually. When extending assistance without solicitation, we influence not only others' karma, but also sow seeds affecting our own existence. In conclusion, Noro urged the disciples to consider the wisdom of discerning when to proactively assist and when to patiently await a call for help from others. Caution is critical. Understanding each challenge faced by others is part of their personal karmic journey. Sometimes the most valuable offer we can make is the grace to allow them to chart their own course. Before offering aid, Noro advised, consider what is genuinely needed. Not every individual seeks counsel. Often, a compassionate ear and understanding soul are all they require. This necessitates a balance in our responses, approaching acts of kindness mindfully while remaining cognizant of the sacred personal journeys of those around us. As their eyes glimmered with understanding, the disciples recognized the importance of allowing others to learn from their trials. Near the same tranquil monastery, another wise monk named Hogi had an encounter worth sharing. With a young woman named Shara, pained by toxic connections in her life. Eager to liberate her spirit, she inquired, Master Hogi, please help me discern the signs of negative individuals and safeguard my inner peace. Every sign that denotes a troublesome companion starts with an understanding of their underlying motivations. Hogi patiently explained, "It is essential to grasp that those we label as bad are often shaped by their own suffering and experiences, muddling their capability to relate positively to us. Therefore, we must learn to inquire first, what prompted their behavior? If you find nothing can change their negative influence over you, then it is wise to distance yourself from their negativity." Shara took time to contemplate Hogi's words, feeling an empathy resonate within her. Hogi continued with his observations, emphasizing key indicators to identify manipulative individuals. The first sign was constant manipulation, illustrated through a scenario of a colleague who ardently distorted reality to further his career. Hogi cautioned against believing that such individuals always act in our best interest. They often disguise ulterior motives. The second sign was a lack of genuine empathy. Hogi described how some people feign interest only when it serves their advantage, eroding the authenticity of interpersonal relationships. The third derailment he named was conflict creation, where individuals seek to stir discord even in harmonious settings, spreading toxicity. Indicating constant control, Hogi described the dynamics of a friendship or partnership predicated on manipulation, where one individual consistently overrode desires and plans to impose their own agenda. His teachings illuminated how invaluable it is to recognize destructive behaviors and foster resilience, while addressing the significance of healthy boundaries. Moving forward, they discussed the profound consequences of avoiding self-absorption. Hogi emphasized the importance of inner reflection before labeling someone as bad. He highlighted how those who exhibit negative behavior warrant our compassion instead of immediate defensiveness. In closing, Hogi reassured Shara that although interactions with challenging individuals can indeed overshadow one's serenity, we can learn to approach these relationships with both discernment and empathy, cultivating a form of understanding for the complex nature of humanity without sacrificing our peace. Forgiveness, the great Buddha later expressed, is not solely about absolving others, but liberating yourself from anger's grip. He painted a poignant picture, explaining how harboring resentment equates to clutching a burning coal, a notion meant to sting the wrongdoer, yet only causing harm to the holder. As students reflected upon the Buddha's insights, they learned that true forgiveness opens the door to inner peace and self-awareness, transitioning from emotional heaviness to a lighter existence. By addressing past grievances without judgment, an individual transforms their subjective narrative, allowing for healing to take its natural course. Ultimately, these tales served as illuminations guiding the disciples to ponder the power of their interactions, striking a harmonious balance between kindness, radical acceptance of others, and discernment, the keys to cultivating authentic relationships that honor both personal integrity and emotional well-being. Finally, in a faraway corner of the monastery, the wise monk Kubo spoke to a young woman named Alina, who lamented her loneliness, observing how others experienced joy in friendship while she felt left out. True happiness, he expressed compassionately, should not derive from the quantity of friends, but the quality of connections. Kubo elaborated by illustrating that authentic relationships often exceed surface-level pleasantries. Would you prefer a multitude of acquaintances or a singular confidant who resonates with your innermost thoughts and feelings? Alina began to see the importance of valuing authenticity over mere companionship. Kubo further explained how fewer friends allow for enriched personal autonomy rather than surrendering to external influences. In this solitude, you can explore your passions freely, discover your hidden strengths without the necessity of pleasing crowds. In moments of reflection, Alina acknowledged that her once frantic search for acceptance had hindered her personal growth, and she instead began to embrace her independence, understanding now that deeper connections often yield more profound emotional sustenance. Kubo emphasized that creating authentic relationships hinges more on depth than breadth. Happiness rests more in meaningful encounters than many shallow ones. Loneliness need not be feared. Instead, it presents opportunities for deeper self-exploration, finally reinforcing that we should cherish those few connections that enrich our lives. With renewed perspective and wisdom, Alina left the monk's presence, ready to embrace each day with optimism. She shifted how she viewed her interactions while valuing authenticity and connection above the fleeting nature of superficial friendships.